What is up, bros? In today's video, we are diving into the Ashitaka. This ship recently just got a buff in 7.7, and before, I always thought this ship was potentially one of the worst premiums Wargaming has ever sold. I think easily one of the worst, if not the worst, tier 7 battleships, and now, actually, after this buff, it is pretty good. This ship is actually really, really good, and some of the games I've been having this thing have been absolutely crazy. Basically, what happened with this ship in 7.7, they basically gave it the same kind of gun performance as the Amagi, if you ever played the tier 8. And what they did was AP shells replaced with shells that have the following characteristics. Initial velocity of the shell was bumped up to 806 meters per second, previously 790, so they're faster. They end up doing more damage per citadel, 12,600 compared to 12,400, and so now it's going to compete a little bit more like the Amagi if you've ever played that ship. And I actually think in the long run this ship's actually more accurate than the Amagi. That may just be what I feel and what I see, but this thing has been extremely accurate since I've started playing it. The Ashitaka was the tier 7, and this kind of followed the pattern Wargaming was doing for a while, mainly on the IGN line of taking, let's say, an A-hull or a stock version of a higher tier ship and making it the tier lower. We saw that with the Mutsu, which is a Nagato A-hull at tier 6, and the Ashitaka was an Amagi A-hull at tier 7. This was kind of following that pattern, and they kind of have this, I would say, a glass cannon style playstyle of they can do a bunch of damage, but they don't really have anything else going for them. They aren't tanky at all. They don't have good AA. They have something a little different, like the Mutsu has these random torpedoes. But the Ashitaka, to me, was this weird tier 7 that really just didn't have anything going for it before. So after this buff, this thing is actually kind of a beast. Obviously, those first couple salvos don't really have anything to say to it, but this thing will start hitting pretty hard, pretty quick. But yeah, I'm actually really enjoying this ship. First of all, because I think tier 7 still has extremely good matchmaking, really good map layouts, and to me, I find this ship to be really accurate when it comes to its consistency. Just consistently, I think this ship does pretty well. As I go 3 salvos in, and we hit for, I think, 1,260 each salvo, so not the best start to a game, but you'll start hitting. I think throughout 5 games, I'm averaging well over 100k damage on this ship, which is actually pretty solid for tier 7. Now, do I think this is one of the best ships for tier 7? Best battleships? I guess it depends. I think there's some pretty safe bets for tier 7. I think you have stuff like the Scharnhorst, you have there's tons of really good tier 7s. But I think the Ashitaka, ever since the buff, though, I would really love to see how this thing would do in kind of a competitive sense, because you just have a lot of guns that are going to hit very hard, as you can see on the Karav, and just be a overall really good ship. So this is the post-buff version, though. I felt like it's kind of nice, and I feel like we're going to kind of start seeing these kind of balances over time. We've definitely seen that a lot in these kind of forgotten ships. I think there's a bunch of ships that have kind of just been mediocre for a long time, that are these premiums, and I just think they haven't really ever sold that well. This ship definitely being one of those, and I think it's actually pretty solid. If you have the Ashitaka now, you probably haven't played it that much, and now it's definitely worth picking up. If you have it in your port anyway, it's definitely worth playing, because it's actually doing very well compared to a lot of other tier 7s. Just the firepower of this ship is extremely high with the change, and you'll be actually smashing things, launching out 10 big shells that are pretty damn accurate. Is actually really good. So but this game right now, we are kind of spread out. As you can see, everybody is going C-cap, so I've taken it on myself. I got kind of lucky that these guys decided not to shoot. These Scharnhorst both just shoot me down with HE. There's nothing I can really do, but we get to be that kind of battleship holding down the flank, and just kind of hanging out, and hopefully me and my destroyer friend here can hold down an entire team, as our team is entirely in C. But really, the Ashitaka, it was this weird kind of pattern that I was wondering if Wargaming is going to keep doing. It makes for like an easy premium, in my opinion, for, let's just give an A-hull a stock version of the ship and make it a tier lower. I was wondering if we were going to see a stock Izumo at tier 8, blah. We saw the Musashi, which is, I wouldn't quite say a stock Yamato, but it's definitely a weaker Yamato at tier 9. So I think this is a potential pattern we might see just to add more premiums into the game. It's kind of interesting, but the problem is that you kind of get ships that just really aren't played that much. I don't think the Mutsu's played that much at tier 6. A lot of people consider it kind of mediocre, if you will. It hits very hard and is kind of known as being this sniper. This is a kind of a better, I think, a better overall view of what that line could potentially be, of this more, you know, very accurate at long range with lots of guns that hit very hard. That's what you need the trade-off to be when it comes to this potential playstyle they're trying to make in this quote-unquote glass cannon. But I think that Ashitaka right now is pretty good. I think it adds a semi-unique playstyle. You're gonna play different in the Nagato than you would in this. And if you've really ever played the Amagi, I mean, you're going to, and this is, I think, just Atlanta's being Atlanta's. Yeah, he turns in, and we get the 1 over pen, so it feels bad. Already at 35k, though, so not too bad. And we just get the broadsides of all these guys. And I didn't even know until late that right in front of me is a friendly Grapspay right there. He had actually just been, like, kiting away from this enemy Grapspay, so kind of funny, I would say. But yeah, I've just been having monster games with this, and I thought it was worth making a video on and see if you guys had the Ashitaka, what you guys think of it now. I thought the Ashitaka for a long time was extremely. I mean, I was pretty brutal on this ship for a long time, just saying that I thought it was up there with being potentially one of the worst, if not the worst, premiums I've actually sold. And the downside of that, the original price tag, it was a tier 7, and tier 7 ships tend to be relatively expensive. So easily it was something you could pass up on because you just weren't missing anything. Now I feel like it's a good ship overall. I just feel like if you had it before and now you have it, then it's going to be I think it's gonna be a fun ship to pick up and you know, brush the dust off and have fun playing it. And again, Atlantas are so lucky. We missed that Sal. I couldn't quite tell if he was going backwards or forwards, but we are doing a pretty good job at holding down this whole side basically by ourselves. Like, I don't even think our Grapspay is shooting his guns, so it's basically just us, and we're trying to get that bit of a speed on that guy. There he goes. He starts to shoot now, so that's good. And we did get lucky though that these Scharnhorst didn't really pick me to just kind of focus. If they would have, I would have been done a long time ago. Because still, with this ship, you're not going to get a ton of your survivability is low with this quote-unquote glass cannon. You will be able to do a lot of damage, but you cannot tank, so you're going to be that sniper role. So if you're looking for a battleship that's going to be able to tank and be that, you know, that damage soaking machine that a lot of other battleships can, let's say like the Colorado or Nagato, they can tank a lot better. This is definitely not going to be it. This is not going to be that playstyle. This is going to be that second line battleship of just using its accuracy, using its decent reload, and then using its guns to then continue to just work down a team and just absolutely smash them. And still, if a CV wants to pick on you, it can, because your AA is not that high, but it's still, I always give props to Wargaming whenever they find a unique playstyle. And in the past, this ship just wasn't done well, and now compared, I think it's a pretty good spot now. I think it's actually a fun ship, and I'm enjoying it. I would almost say right now, and maybe that's just because I haven't played it in a while, that this is one of my go-to tier 7s to play right now, just because I find it to be fun. And we'll keep working down the Atlanta back-to-back Citadel, so there we go. Almost 1 million potential damage already, and we got to focus on this Scharnhorst. I think I was going to get the bat guns on this, but we got to trade up because he's starting to shoot at me now. And we will try to work it on. We have that Grapspay behind me as well. So down goes the Atlanta, which is good. This guy's going to take, I believe, torps right here. So boom, boom, down he goes. And I was hoping to pop a little shot off the Grapspay. He's just having fun, so I guess that's all that matters. But right now, I feel like Tier 7 has been kind of redone. There's rumors of a lot of ships getting rebalanced for destroyers. Nueve de Julio and the Boise just came out, so those are really fun. The Haida just came out. That's a lot of fun. I feel like Tier 7 is beginning to be an extremely fun tier again and kind of revitalized with a lot of new ships. I think Tier 7 is one of the best tiers in this game. Everyone is so focused on Tier 10s. I think there's a lot of fun games in Tier 10s. A lot of fun Tier 10 ships, but I feel like the gameplay itself is relatively slow and boring at the top. I find these tiers I always say that the best part of this game is basically from like tier 4 to tier 8, tier 5 to tier 8, somewhere in there. Yes, and before everyone's like the matchmaking at tier 8 is brutal. Sure, yeah, it can be tough. But I feel like these middle parts, these middle tiers are really where this game kind of shines, and people can have a lot of fun. And I think the Ashitaka is now a very fun ship. And so whenever you can find a different play style to add into the game, I think that's fun, because it's cool to have, I would say, almost role-specific ships when it comes to this game. And we got the Karab right there. This last couple shells came in, and there's our first kill of the game. 3 Citadels already, though, over a million tanked damage, almost 100k damage. And we got out of the range of Grasp Base, so he's not going to be able to get Torps on me, which is good. Like a lot of IGN ships, the majority of the secondaries are IP, so a bit of a downside. You're not going to be lighting a bunch of fires as you would like a German ship or whatever. But we will hit them for some AP, and we'll smash them through the nose with our big shells. So, but I've always felt like tier 7 is some of the most fun ships and fun tiers, fun maps in this game. I really do. I think Wargaming has done a really good job at these tiers of finding a good mix of map layout, and what I mean by that is making it a lot of, I mean, on top of just the right size of maps where the objectives are in such a good spot. There we go, right through the front. A good mix of getting the objectives in the right spot as well as the maps just being the right size. I think that's why I love these so much. There's more I just find these more fun. So whenever you can get a fun ship and these fun like tiers and stuff like that, I feel like you have a good mix, and I find the Ashitaka to be kind of a perfect example of that. It's a lot of fun. And so we'll see what an Ashitaka can do against a broadside October Revolution. And we'll use that dispersion. I mean, that's pretty damn accurate, and you're going to see that on a lot of salvos right on the back guns, and there's a nice 36k salvo to end the game off, and they'll actually take them down. So high caliber, 5 Citadels. We held down basically the whole side by ourselves, and there is the game. So overall, just a fun ship. After post buff especially, so wanted to make a video on this. 147,000 damage. That's pretty normal for the games I'm seeing. Either with this, I'm seeing a lot of games go very quickly, or I go to the wrong side, or just 6-digit games. I'm finding this thing to be nuts. As long as you are not overextending and just getting destroyed, because it's not really a tanky battleship, and just using those guns to just lay hell on an entire team, I think you're going to really enjoy this ship. I think it's a lot of fun. I think the buff was awesome. And let me know in the comments what you guys think of the Ashitaka and what you guys think of just tier 7 in general. I feel like there's a lot of fun happening in this tiers right now, especially with a lot of the premium ships going out and just a lot of the tree ships in general that I think are really good at this tier. So anyways, guys, the Ashitaka Post Buff, I would give it 2 thumbs up. If you have it, go out and enjoy it. You know, pop a captain in there, pop the, Yamamoto if you have it. Go send off some fireworks and have a lot of fun. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.